Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what time it is. It is Budget Meals Under $5, and we're joining in with our awesome hostess, the hostess with the mostest, and she does a great job on her videos and her challenges. And she does a wonderful job setting up great meals for under $5. Now, there's just me and Grandpa, so I do meals for two because there's just me and Grandpa. And I try to have each portion be $2.50 or less. And sometimes it can be difficult and sometimes it's pretty easy. Today we are going to have two recipes on this video. Now, the second one, we already did one similar or very close to the same, but I learned how to make it look much nicer, so practice does make perfect. So the first one is going to be the new one, and the second one is going to be doing it a better job than I did the first time. So try to stay to the very end and see what both these recipes are, and you can check out my previous videos and see the new one and see the improvement. I always like improvement. So let me know what you think. Now, what we did today, we basically took things we already had. I used leftover rice from another meal. You know I do that a lot. And I had vegetables I already bought. And we're still counting the cost. We're just dividing it up over 6 portions so far, because this will be the fifth and sixth meal that I've made out of these vegetables. And that's how I'm getting the cost under $2.50. The first one, they're probably about $1.80, $2 a portion, and the second one I think was $1.80 or something. And on top of that, on the second one, I actually even made a third meal. So I guess I really made three of them in this video. And mostly because we have leftovers. And that's how I get my grocery bill so cheap. The last couple of weeks, my grocery bill's been between $90 to $60. So that's doing pretty good. And our full budget we're allowing is $150. Now this one, like I said, is leftovers. We had leftover rice. So the money I spent for rice maybe is $1 at the most. Soy sauce I already had. The little bit I used, maybe I used 20 or 30 cents worth of soy sauce, maybe, or less. And you can see the bowl is pretty full, and when I finish putting the vegetables in it, it will be totally full. And the soy sauce will add a lot more flavor to that rice. I steam it with a couple spoonfuls of water to bring that rice back to, because it was leftover. And these are sliced mushrooms that I bought this way. And the Brussels sprouts and the snow peas, I already had them. And I didn't use a whole package. I just used part of a package. And I used some sliced green onions. I did buy some garlic with Parmesan with basil, butter, and I cooked that in the veggies. I'm not saying it tasted bad, but it's pretty pricey to buy. I think I can do just fine with regular butter and use seasonings that I already have. So I don't know if I'd buy that again. The truffle butter, it was so good, I will probably keep buying that. Now, when I started doing this, I put this pan, put the fire under the burner. Put the fire under the pan. So as I was getting everything pulled out and getting everything ready, this pan was already preheating. So when I started cooking, it didn't take more than about 2 or 3 minutes to cook this meal. This is another thing that makes it nice when you aren't spending all day in the kitchen. The rice I did stick in the microwave for maybe a minute, minute and a half, 2 at the most. It wasn't very long. But I put the mushrooms in first because they need a little more browning, I think. That special butter, I did brown it with that. And I'm not saying it tasted bad. It tasted fine. It's just that it's a little on the pricey side. Now, I don't like my other vegetables too well done, so I cook them last. And I probably had these mushrooms cooking maybe a minute and a half, and then I stirred around, and I did another minute and a half, and I put the other vegetables in probably about a minute into cooking those mushrooms. because I like my vegetables to be a little crunchy. But you may not want your vegetables like you might want them cooked longer. You may want to put them in when you do the mushrooms. But I don't think you need to cook them more than about 3 minutes. I didn't cook any of these vegetables in the microwave. They were all cooked in this fry pan, and it was enough for 2 bowls of rice. So I don't know what I really would spend for these vegetables because they were a part of other containers and made other dishes. But I don't think we spent over at the most, and this is the most, maybe $1.50, $2 for the veggies, and they were all fresh because these were all used on quite a few meals. And when you break it all down, it really didn't cost much money at all. The cooking time, maybe, and this is the most, I don't even think it took 10 minutes. I think it was probably more like 4 or 5 minutes to cook this food because the rice was already cooked and already leftovers. The veggies, I like them to be cooked, but I don't like them to be soggy. And the mushrooms were the only thing that I cooked a little bit of time. Everything else, they were just in there a couple of minutes. So maybe 2 minutes for the Brussels sprouts and the snow peas, and maybe three minutes altogether for the mushrooms. Thought it turned out pretty good. 2 rice bowls. And vegetarian too. Now, you all know I made some crepes a little while back, and they looked all right. Not saying they were bad, but they weren't very visually beautiful because I didn't really put them together properly. But this bowl, when I started, was full of fruit, and I'd used the same fruit in a couple other things, so I didn't really spend that much at all. Now, this is what I should have done, was put all the fruit at one end of my crepe. Then I roll it up like I would do a taquito or maybe a burrito, and it came out great. And these cost under $2, I don't know, $1.80, $1.90 a crepe. They took maybe 4 or 5 minutes to put together. I don't know. There's no cooking time really at all. It's all fresh fruits. Just pulling it out, putting some whipped topping on, and when I had fruit left over, I had the fruit salad for lunch, so that made a lunch. So this is breakfast with the crepes, and a crepe a piece. It came to like under $2, and the fruit salad. And you can see I have tons of whipped topping left, and I even put some extra whipped topping on those crepes. Now I have fruit salad for lunch, along with a sandwich. So you can see you can make some great food, stretch it out, and it isn't costing you hardly any money.